Hey everybody, what is up and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to talk about vehicle emergency survival kits, or even survival kits in general. Something that you should have packed in your house as well. And the reason why I want to talk about this is due to the current massive disasters that we've had in my area, very close to where I live, and in the United States recently, with all the hurricanes and all the devastation that's happened across 6 states. Just crazy. You know, my part of Virginia, the southwest part of Virginia got pretty much wiped out, along with North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee. All got really hit hard by the hurricanes. There's still people that are stranded, and I feel that this is probably some pertinent information that some people need to hear. So that's why I got this bag sitting right here, and I want to talk about like just being prepared. It's very important to just be prepared, no matter where you live. Being prepared is always important, because most of these people that got hit never thought that they'd get hit with a hurricane and see the damage they did, because they live in the mountains. And if you haven't been there, it's rugged, high mountain country, and you wouldn't expect to have the mass flooding and damage that they had there. So I think this is important to cover. And where I am from in Wyoming, we always carry stuff in our vehicles. I mean, we have tents, extra clothes, blankets, a bag like this and everything, because the winters can get rough and you can get stuck on the highway. You can get stuck somewhere and you may be sitting there for a few days, and you need to have gear in your vehicle to make it until somebody can get to you. The other thing I'm going to tell you too, and this is just something that I always do and I've done for a long time, is you should never let your vehicle go below half a tank of gas. Once you hit a half a tank, you should always fill it up. And the reason why I say that is all these emergencies, if you see what's happening right now, there's no gas. There's no gas. So never let your vehicle run down empty. A lot of people do that and they drive it until it's on E and then they get gas. You should never do that. Like where I'm from out west, we always fill up. Once you hit the half a tank, you always fill up, because gas stations are about 100 miles apart. So you never let your tank go below half a tank. But with that being said, we're going to get into this. This is actually, I've upgraded. If you guys watch my channel, I used to use a smaller pack, but I've upgraded too, because I've added some things that I've been wanting to add, that instead of being on the outside of the pack, I wanted to be on the inside of the pack. I had them in the vehicle, but I just didn't have them in the pack. So this is the gear that I keep in my truck every day. And this isn't just it. I have a tub full of stuff that's in the bed of the truck. Tools and different things like tow ropes and all that stuff I have in the truck as well. But this is my, just if I have to grab it and leave the vehicle, this is what I'm going to grab. And I just kind of want to go over some of the things that you should probably keep in your vehicle. And I'm going to list everything down below. Everything that I show you guys, I'm going to list down below to give you guys an idea kind of what I have in here. And if there's anything you saw that interests you that you want, then you'll be able to use that link and go find it easy. Now, what you put in your kit is going to be different than what somebody else puts in their kit. It has to be what works for you and what's suitable for you and what you feel is necessary. These are just what I have in mind. So be in mind, I'm going to run through this stuff fairly quick so I can try to keep this video pretty short. But I just want to give you guys an idea. For those of you that are not sure where to start, hopefully this will give you an idea of where to start. And you can design your kits however you want to. That's up to you. This is just what I carry. I've lived out in the wilderness a long time, and most of my life I've been living in the mountains or something. I lived on top of the Rocky Mountains for years. Used to have to snowmobile to my cabin in the wintertime. So I try to be pretty prepared. Now, the other thing I'm saying, I'm no expert. This is just what I do. I have no claim to fame whatsoever and stuff. This is just what I do for gear. If you guys watch my video, you do know, a little bit about me and stuff. I'm not going to get into all that. This is just a good basic rundown of what you should keep in there. And everybody should always have some sort of survival gear, some sort of kit in their vehicle, that if they in a situation, they can grab it and they can survive and stuff. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is I've got an IFAK on here. This is a medical kit. You guys can look it up. This has tourniquets, has bandages, has all kinds of stuff, splints, you name it. It's packed in there. IFAK kits, you can find them on Amazon. I did a video on IFAK kits. I compared a U.S. Army IFAK kit that I was issued back when I was in the Army to an IFAK kit from Amazon to show you guys the differences. And ironically, the Amazon kit actually gives you some things that I wish that the Army kit would give you. But I did a comparison to show you both and show you what I had in them. You can go watch that video on my channel. There's a comparison on there. I will try to remember to put the link down below, and you guys can just click on it and you can check that out, and that'll give you an idea of that. But it's always good to have some sort of medical kit in your vehicle, one way or the other. I have an IFAK kit that's on this pack. So, and I can use it if I need to. The other thing I have on here is something for water. Now this is just an Army canteen, but this also has a metal canteen cup in the bottom. So on this right here, if you look right here, if I can get it out of here, and I have it just took there, but I've got a canteen, and then inside here, if you guys can see, can you see? Let me see. Can you guys see? I don't know if you guys can see, but you can pull this out. But there's a metal canteen cup in here, if I can get it out. So there you go. There's a metal canteen cup. The reason why I have that is so I can boil water or melt snow or whatever I need to do to sterilize the water that I'm going to drink, and I can also make soups out of it and cook in it. That thing is an awesome lifesaver when you're in the mountains, especially, you know, if you got a lot of snow up in the Snowy Range Mountains where I'm from. That's a great thing to be able to just throw snow in there, melt it down, and then you can drink it. You know, if you got snow, you got water. You know, so the other things I have on the outside of this kit is I've got a machete. This is actually a Kershaw machete right here. Love these machetes. Super thick. This is great for chopping. You can even split things with this. But it's a great way to break down your firewood or get firewood for things. It's a great tool to have. A machete is always awesome. Kershaw makes a really nice one. This one's actually in tan. It's attached to the kit right now. It does come off. It has Velcro right here where I can unvelcro it and take it off, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to tear my kit apart. But I always have a machete on there. And then I always have an axe as well. And this is a Fiskars. This right here is a Fiskars X7. Right on the back of the pack. It's tied here, and then I just run it through here so it doesn't flop around when I'm carrying it, and I just tighten that down. But this Fiskars X7 is a great axe. Let me loosen that up there. This is a great axe that I've used for a long time now. My wife loves it. They're super light, but they're super durable, and they can do a lot of good work. And an axe is always a great tool to have. So I keep both on there, but you could do one or the other. And if my recommendation was you're only going to pick one, whether it be the machete or the axe, I would probably go with the Kershaw. If you just wanted one over the other, I would go to the Kershaw, because the Kershaw can actually chop and split as well, because it's thick enough to do that. You could actually, if you are a batoner, you could baton wind with it. But either one, you can pick an axe. Like my wife just prefers to carry the axe. She's better with the axe than she is with the machete, so she likes that. So that's what she likes on her pack. But she does have both. But she prefers the axe. I like both, so I like having both because I like having the options. But if you're only going to pick one or the other, I would go with the Kershaw machete. It's thick, it's durable, it'll do a lot of work. You'll be able to chop and split wood and do everything you need with it. It's a great all-around tool. And then the other thing I have up here, this is one of my K-bar folders right here. I have several folders in this kit. This is a great K-bar folder. This one I carried in Iraq. I still have it. I have a green one just like it. I love it. It's a great blade. I carried that on my side every day. I slept with it on my side, and it's an awesome knife. You can pick whatever knife you want. It's up to you. But that's basically what's hanging on the outside of that, with some carabiners and stuff as well. Now, when you get to the inside of this pack, which I gotta unclick this, drop these guys back. We're gonna get to the inside of the pack. A few things that you want to have in your gear. Now we're gonna start right here on this part of the pack, and then I'll get to the deep part of the pack. Is in here I've got some Gorilla Tape. I've got some snare wire in here. I've got extra knives. I got another folding knife right there. I've got another little knife with a fork and spoon on it. It's a little compact one. There's tons of different types of those that you can get, so pick whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I just like having some sort of utensils in there. I've also got, this is the K-bar knife and spork. I love this. These are about $7, and this actually comes with a knife on it as well as the spork spoon. I love these. These are great, super durable. Have one of those in the pack as well. I've also got this little set of spoons and stuff in here too. I'm a little overkill. I'm a little redundant. And then I've got knife sharpeners. I've got this knife sharpener, which is a diamond. This is a Smith's diamond sharpener right there. And then I've got another smaller handheld one right there as a backup. So I can keep my knives sharp. And that's pretty much what what is in there. There's another knife sharpener down there, a smaller one. I'll show you. There's a third one, so that I can throw in my pocket. You know, and this is actually the one I carry in my pocket every day. I have one in my pocket right now, but let's get this back down in here. This rubber handle kind of catches. So get it. What am I hooking up on there? back down in there. You go in there. You go in there. Okay. So that's what's in that pack right there, in that spot right there. That's where I keep all my nice stuff. Now up here, I've got a couple different things. I've got a monocular, so I can look and see stuff if I need to, look off in the distance. I've also got a compass in there. You can pick whatever compass you want. And I've got some pop-up flares. These are pin pop-up flares and stuff. This is a 3-pack. You can find these on eBay and lots of other places. And basically you just pop the top, you pull a string, and it shoots a flare up for emergency situations. And that could be the difference between having your life saved or not when people are flying over. Now we're going to pull into this pocket right here. In this pocket right here, I have got a lot of different things, but basically I've got a set of these are a set of shears for skinning animals, small animals and stuff, and they work really great. I've got, this is a Buck Selkirk. This is a great knife. I haven't done any reviews on it, but I will in there. I've got a Mora. This is a super cool Mora right here. I got to do a review on that too. I've got a saw in here, a folding saw. And I've got, this is a fire steel right here, which I haven't even taken out of the box. And the reason why I leave it in the box is because I can use the box to start a fire, so no sense in taking it out when I do it. What else I got down in here? And I've got another folding knife, big giant folding knife. This thing is kind of crazy, but it's just an extra tool. I had it in there, so I threw it in there. Not sure what I'd really do with that other than stab somebody with it. But then in here I've got, this is also where I keep all my fire starting stuff. So I've got 2 lighters right here, 2 lighters right there, and they're wrapped with duct tape. And the reason why I have the duct tape and I have the Gorilla Tape, the duct tape in the front, is duct tape is, you can use it to start a fire. You can use it as tinder, and you can actually use a fire steel and it'll light and it'll start a fire and it'll burn for a while and you can get a fire going. I also have these 2 tins right here. These are my air rifle pellet tins that I save, and I make things out of that to do it. So in one of them right here is lint. It's lint from my freaking dryer, and I put a bunch of lint in there because lint is a great tinder to start fires with, and it's readily available because you dry your clothes all the time with your dryer. And I just put them in those tins. You can put them in a plastic bag, whatever you want. And then I also make these little cotton, I call them little fireballs. But basically it's in a little aluminum thing. Basically it's a ball of cotton that I dipped in Vaseline, wrapped it in Vaseline and wrapped it up in here. And that is like a little mini sterno. You can take and cut an X slit in it, you break it open, you can throw fire steel on it, or you can use your lighter, and it'll actually burn like a sterno. And the cool thing about it is you can put it in your fire and it can get your fire going because it'll keep a steady little flame and it can get your fire going. And then you can actually put it out and then close it back up and reuse it again if you don't burn it all up. So I make a bunch of those. I will do a video on how that is done for you guys, but that's what's in this thing. It's backup knives, a folding saw, fire steel, different ways to start fires, some extra knives, things like that is what I keep in that compartment. Now we're going to get to the big compartment, which has a lot of stuff in it. All right, so the big compartment, water purifying device. This is a Life Straw. You can get them online. They're about $15 to $18 a piece, and you can buy them in packs. I've got this. This is actually like a glow light. You can put this out in the sun and then it'll glow at night and it creates light. So it's super cool and it's flat and it can create light for you. I've got a whole bag full of food. This little bag right here will give me enough nutrients that I can spread it out over a few days. You can put more food in there, you can put less food in there, but I've got everything in there to have some food to get through a few days if I need it. Just energy stuff that'll give me the calories and stuff to burn. You can pick out whatever you want, but you need some food in there. I also have a scarf. This is a neck scarf. Can protect your head, protect your face, all that stuff in there. And I also have a baklava in here. If you guys don't know what that is, Google it up. But it's a big giant scarf and stuff. You can use this for a lot of different things. You can use it to keep your face warm. You can wet it, keep your neck cool. You can also filter your water through it, filter other things through it. Lots of stuff like that. So that comes in handy. It can also help keep you warm. I've got 100 feet of 550 cord in here. That's always important. You always want rope, some sort of rope, you know. And then I have, this is actually a tarp. Now this is a Arcturus outdoor gear. This is actually a tarp, and one side of it is green, the other side of it has reflective material. When you would put it up, you put the reflective material towards the inside, and if you were setting up a fire in a camp, the heat will come in and bounce off that reflective material and keep you warm. And so that's for your shelter. So that will help, keep you out of the elements. You can make a tent out of it. You can make a cover for it. You can do a lot of different stuff with it. And then the other thing you could put in here, which I still do have some room for, is you could put an extra set of clothes. You could put like t-shirt, pair of underwear, some socks, and a pair of like thermal underwears underneath or something like that, which I have these really thin ones that I got from the military that are going to end up going in one of these bags. I just haven't put it in there yet because I have actually clothes in my truck. But that's just a basic rundown of what's in this kit. For just a basic emergency, I got some supplies stuff. Now let me click this back up here, like it should be, like that. Let's put my whole kit back together here, like so. Zip that up. So that's pretty much the rundown. And there is one other thing. I do have a Camelback in here as well. So there's a water hydration system in this pack as well. It's actually the bladder. Let me turn this around so you guys can see. The bladder sits right in here in this part, and I've got a water hydration thing there, and it's like a two liter bladder that's sitting down there as well. So I can fill that up with water. So I have water in there and have this as well. So I've got a hydration system on the pack as well. So that's a basic, put in your truck, put it in there, forget it, and you got it if you need an emergency type kit that you can grab this and go, and you got some supplies that can help you get through it. You can put more food in there, less food in there. You can figure out whatever it is you want to put in there. But that's just a basic rundown of what I have in this kit. If I have to grab this out of my truck and go, I've got some stuff that will help me get through. And you guys can set it up however you want to. That's what I got in mind. The other thing I want to talk about when it comes to this stuff is that having some sort of radio in your vehicle all the time. You don't have to use it. You do have to check it and make sure you charge it once in a while. But always having a radio. Now, I carry a radio all the time. I don't know if my wife is on her radio and has her radio on or not, but I will show you, I will do a radio check with her and see if she's listening, so you can see we always talk about radios all the time, and we use them all the time on the property. So let me see if I can get her on my radio and see if you guys can hear her. Forest Dove radio check, over. See if you guys can hear her.
Copy, Bravo Bastion. Radio check, over.
Good copy, Roger, beep out.
Love you, Roger, beep out.
So that's my wife, and she's over at the house over there, and she's sitting on the porch, but we always have radios no matter where we go on our property. We always have a radio on us, and I usually always have a radio on me, even when I go in my truck. I always take a radio with me. I'm getting ready to set up a repeater tower here so we can get further distance, but we always have radios on us. And what I want to talk about is that make sure you have some sort of communications, because if you guys have been paying attention to what happened in the hurricane, everybody's cut off, got no radios, and there's people that were cut off in their vehicles and everywhere, and they've got no way to communicate. But if you had a radio, if you had a GMRS or a ham radio or even an FRS radio, and you guys had up some sort of communication set up with your friends and family, you would end up being able to communicate with them when everything else isn't working. And if you guys are paying attention, that's the only way they're really communicating in that area. I did a video. I put a video out of what's really going on with Hurricane Helene and all the damage. And if you guys go to that video, I put up a bunch of information on how you guys can go listen on your computer to a ham radio repeater where they're actually using to coordinate and everything with, so you can hear what's really going on the ground. I would suggest you go check that out. I'll try to link that down below as well. But radios. I'm a GMRS. I have a GMRS license, so I use GMRS radios, but I do have ham radios for listening as well. So I have both, and I have FRS radios. We use all of them, and in the best case scenario, you should have at least one of each. But if you guys are looking at radios, I'm going to show you some radios here real quick, and we're going to wrap this up. So I've got some Baofangs here, I've got a Wuxun, and I've got a Motorola. Now, for many, many, many years, I use this Motorola right here. This is a Motorola FRS two-way radio, and I have two of these, and I've used these for many years for my fishing trips and stuff. And what I would do when I would go fishing by myself, I'd leave one radio in the truck, I take one radio with me. This thing's waterproof, so that's why I like these radios, because they're waterproof and I was on the water. And so I always let whoever, I'd let know when I'd go fishing, because I always let somebody know where I'm at, that there's a radio in the truck and it's already on the frequency you need to be, but I would tell them what frequency that was supposed to be, and I'd tell them what my alternate frequency is. So I would say I'm on 3, but alternate frequency is 6. So they would know if they weren't getting me on 3, they could switch to 6 and stuff. So, but I always had one of these on me, and then if I have people with me, we're talking on these. And I used these for a long time until I learned about GMRS. Now GMRS, this is a GMRS radio. It can talk to the FRS radio. The only difference is with the GMRS stuff is that GMRS can use repeaters as well, and so with the repeater you can get a further distance. So GMRS opens up the whole thing. Plus GMRS radios can be used like scanners. I'm not going to get into all that and how everything you can do with it. You guys can Google it, or you can watch some of my other videos. But FRS is your basic radio communication. These are cheap. You can find them in blister packs at Walmart and stuff. And if you have nothing else, FRS radios are better than nothing. But I would recommend GMRS or ham. The only difference is with GMRS and ham, you do have to get a license. GMRS license is $35. Ham license is $35. GMRS, you don't have to take a test. Ham, you do have to take a test. I think it's worth it. I'm actually starting to work on my ham license now. I decided I'm going to get one, so I'm going to study up and I'm going to get my ham license. But when you're talking about radios, I'll start with this one first, because actually let's start with the budget ones first. So the cheapest one I got on the table right now is this Baofeng. This is the GM15 Pro, I think is what it is. And this is one of the ones that my son uses. I have like 6 of these, I think. Very inexpensive. You can buy them in a 2-pack for like $49 or something. You get 2 of these radios. These radios have a great range. They work really good. They're water resistant, sorta, but super great radios, easy to program. I have these set up where I can scan with them, so I can listen to scanning frequencies, as well as like we're talking police, local law enforcement stuff, as well as I can use all the channels and stuff. And I love these radios. They're not super big. They're great. They're cheap. I think you can get one of these for $25 by itself. And they're great radios. I suggest just buying a bunch of them. Like I said, I have 6 of those, and these are great radios. I can hand them out to people, and they're awesome. They're very easy to program. They're keep it simple, stupid radio, which I like. I don't like complicated radios, and they are the cheapest one I have right here for now. Now the other one I have, this is another Baofeng. This is the UV9R, I believe is what this one is. This one is 100% waterproof, IP67 or 68 rating and stuff. Super durable, well made. This one actually comes with an extra battery. I think with the extra battery and the extra antenna and stuff, because it comes with a couple of antennas and stuff, this one was like $58. But this is a super nice radio, easy to program, easy to work. And a great radio too. The only thing I didn't like is the belt clip on it. You have to screw on this little thing, and then the belt clip like spins around, and the belt clip's not like this one where it's attached to the radio. It actually is a clip by itself that stays on your hip. I didn't like that. It kind of gets in the way, and when it's on your belt, it kind of swings. So I don't use it, because I use these when I have like a chest rig or something on. I have radio comm pouches for my gear, so it just sits in a radio comm pouch because I have a regular little hunting. It's just a little pouch like this, and then on the side it has a little radio comms thing, and that's what we use these for. Have 3 of these. These are great radios as well. I like them a lot, and they do real well for GMRS. And again, this one comes with this antenna, and also comes with an antenna like this. You can choose which one you want. I like this one, this bigger antenna, because the bigger antenna means I can get out a little bit farther and get better reception. So, and these you can order separately for your radios as well, and you can add them to your radios if you want to. Now, the last one I got sitting here, this is a Wuxin. This is the KG S88G. This is a 100% waterproof one. You can drop this in the river and go swimming with it. Play with it in the bathtub, whatever you want to. I have a stubby antenna on it currently with this one, but it does come with other antennas. It comes with a longer antenna as well. We like the stubby antennas for when we're working around on the property, because the antennas, it's just easier and it's not getting in your way as much. So we run the stubby antennas on these currently when we're working on the property and just doing everyday stuff. This radio, very easy to program, very easy to use. I love this, but this is a more expensive radio. This one's about $139, and then an extra battery is about $25 or something for it. I recommend getting the extra battery too. I have extra batteries for all these things. And this is a great radio though. This is a thing, and there's a difference in these. This is a super heterodyne radio, and this is a homodyne radio. I'm not going to get into that. Look it up, Google it, it'll tell you what it is. But the super heterodyne radios are just better quality radios. That's why they cost more. You can find these at buy2weightradios.com and stuff. But this is a great radio. I love this radio. I like the Wixon radios. I have several of them as well. But if you guys just want to get some budget-friendly radios, you can check out Baofeng, however you want to call it. They make a lot of different ones. They make the UV5R. You can buy a UV5R Baofeng for like $18 by itself. I have two of those. I've had them for 10 years. They're still going strong. So that's a great radio if you're just looking for something budget, and you can buy a ton of them to hand out to your neighbors. But you should always have some sort of radio with you as well and stuff. And it's easy to take one of these radios, put it in your truck, put it in your glove box, put the charger in there, because they make chargers that can plug into your cigarette lighter. And when you're driving around, you just plug it in, make sure it's charged, every so often, like once a week, check it, plug it in, make sure it's got charge and stuff. And then you got some way to communicate if you end up in a serious situation like what's happened here in my area and in on the East Coast here, where like all these states, and they've gotten wiped out. It's crazy what's going on. But then you've got some sort of communication, and learn how to use your radios. If you're using GMRS or ham, learn where the repeater towers are in all the states. They make a book. I will put a link to the book as well. You can get it on Amazon. There's a link to a book. It's the AARL, and it gives you all the repeater towers across the country and stuff, and across the world actually. And that book right there, you can just take and you can see a repeater tower. You can plug in the information in there, and then you can use that repeater to communicate. There's a little bit more that goes into it. You guys will have to look into it, but I'm just saying that you want to have some sort of radio communications with you at all times as well and stuff, just for preparedness stuff. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that are looking into radio communications now that they've seen what's happened here and happened on the East Coast, that they're looking into it. But a radio is always something you should have as well. These blister packs, this pack was like these Motorola's, because these Motorola's are really good radios. This pack was like, I think I got it on sale for $79, but they're normally like $109. But these are full waterproof radios, so they cost a little more. And these have been great radios. I've used these radios. I've had these radios probably 8 or 10 years as well, and they're still going strong. They're great radios, I mean, for just a basic radio. But you can get these ones for cheaper and buy a bunch of them. And you definitely want to have backups, too, because if you have a radio go down, then you have another radio to use. So anyway, I'm going to finish this up. That's just a quick thing of why you should have an emergency kit in your vehicle. You should have emergency kits in your house too. You should actually have bags set up to go, a little bit bigger bags that are set up with some clothes and food and everything, because if you live in anywhere that has tornadoes, hurricanes, or any kind of crazy weather, you need a bag ready to go. And you can't have it and not have it set up, because when it's time to grab it, it's too late to pack it. So you should already have it packed. And then because you keep that gear packed up, you have to go through it every so often. Like the food and stuff you have in there, you may have to swap out, get rid of that, put fresh food in there and things like that. So you kind of have to maintain it after you do it. But once you have it set up, you can add to it. If there's things that you realize you needed, you can add to it. You can take away from it if you realize that some of the things you put in there you're not using or you don't feel you need. You can do a lot of different things, but you just need to think about it. Anything is better than nothing. That's the one thing I'll say is any preparedness is better than no preparedness at all. So take that for what it is and stuff. But, people need to start really thinking about it. There's a lot of people that live in these areas that don't ever think about it and stuff until something happens, and then they're like, oh crap, and then they panic buy. Well, you don't want to have to go to try to panic buy. You want to already have your supplies. So stock up on stuff. Like at your home, you guys should have a minimum. You should always have a minimum of 3 months worth of backup food. There's plenty of places that you can go. You can go to ReadyWise. You can go to My Patriot Supply. There's a whole bunch of other ones out there that you can get. It's all shelf life storage stuff that comes in tubs, and it's all food that it's 25-year shelf life that you can store. You can get a few of those tubs, and then you can have food to eat, because people that got hit by these hurricanes, they're stranded and they're getting airdrop supplies, and that's the only way they're surviving right now is by getting airdrop supplies. So it's better to be prepared, put a little investment in that and stuff, and then you've got it, and then it can set your mind at ease, because most of these people, like I said, except for the people in Florida that are used to hurricanes, all these other places got hit with this Hurricane Helene, they're not used to that. That kind of stuff doesn't happen there, so it doesn't matter where you live, you can have a natural disaster. It doesn't matter if you live on the plains of Kansas, they get tornadoes. It doesn't matter if you live in the mountains of Colorado and Wyoming and Idaho, there's things that happen there. California has hurricanes. I mean, not hurricanes. California has earthquakes. Florida has hurricanes. The north gets crazy bad storms. I mean, everywhere in the country and in the world has some sort of stuff that happens. So being a little prepared is going to make you better off in the long run to be able to survive those things. So anyway, that's all I got for you. I hope this helps you guys out. I hope this helps you guys start thinking about things that you want to set and prep or put in your vehicle. I have one of these bags in my wife's car. I have one of these in my car. We keep them in there and stuff. We rotate the food out when we need to and stuff, but we keep these set up in our vehicles. They stay in our vehicles, so they're always ready to go. And it's just important to be prepared. And you know, being a guy that's from Wyoming, everybody out there does that. Everybody I know does that. Everybody's got bags. They've got sleeping bags. They even got at least a two-man little tent in their vehicle just in case they get stranded somewhere. So it's really important to be prepared. So anyway, like I said, that's all I got for you guys. I hope this helped you guys out. Any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability or direct you to the right place to find whatever you're looking for. And that's all I got for you guys. So I hope this helps, and I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.